Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna get this cleaned up with the grinder. Then all nice and cleaned up and get all that rust off. So let's do that, and then we're gonna get that first shackle mount put on there. So I'm gonna spray that with some fluid film, and then we're gonna attach our first shackle. Alright, first part is the frame mount. This part here, frame mount to the... We'll put this as the... let me get you the part number here. It's a Ultra... Hopefully you can see that. Ultra Power 722010 B Bravo Tango Papa 04. So that's going to mount right there. I'm just going to put some fluid film on that frame. These come with bolts and nuts. Next part is Moog, and these are the shackles. A lot of people call it Moog. It's actually Moog. Moog is got a place here in Buffalo. Been here a long engineering. Been here a long time. Here's the shackle, and that's 72221045. Comes with bolts. All right, so we got our leaf spring here. We cut this plastic off. Pretty nice. And those of you looking for the part number for these heavy duty rear springs for the Ford Ranger, it's a Husky spring 431503 HD. I'm going to take out this bolt here from the front shackle, and I get this. These things are not light. Oh. Oops. Alright, so if you have the trailer hitch, factory trailer hitch, make sure you put this on. This is going to pinch this. We're going to remount this now to the frame, and then figure out what we're going to do with the bolt that has to go through here. From this end, it's too long, we'll have to cut it. Alright, we got a 13 on this end. We got a 15 on this end. Because if you put the bolt in this way, it's too long, and you'll never be able to get it, because you need that flat side, and this needs to squish so that bolt doesn't rub up against the frame. I'm sorry, against the trailer hitch. So that is the best way to do it. It's a pain. If you don't have the trailer hitch, you can easily get through this side, but that trailer hitch poses a problem there. If you have the factory hitch, which I think the FX4 pretty much came with it. Let's get some heat on this. That helps. Breaker bar. That's what did it. The breaker bar. Heat and a breaker bar. Had to use the same at the top. Hallelujah. Alright, there that is. pound that out. Alright, so here's our new shock and the old, a little bit nicer. Alright, so that went on pretty good with a little lubricant. I'm going to put some Never Seas up there, and I jacked up the pumpkin and was able just to align that, and I'm going to get the bolt in there and putting a little Never Seas on that as well. Did not come with bolts, so I'm reusing the ones I have. And then once I get that bolted in, I'm cutting the strap. I'm lining these up right where they were. I can see the marks. So we'll keep that all the same.
Put these on, you want to make sure same little threads are showing. And then we'll torque them down.
How about 21? How about that? How about a 21? Alright, 76 foot-pounds on the Ford Ranger U-bolts. Alright, so we've kind of done this in reverse, obviously. So you're seeing the installation on one side. Now we're going to move to the driver's side, and I'm going to show you the removal. We'll show you how we do that on that side and how we cut those rivets out, and then we're going to air chisel them out. You could do it with a 1/2-inch drill bit from the back side, punch it, and then drill through the back, and then knock them out. That'll work. If you don't have air tools or anything like that. And then get yourself a good pry bar. Spend some money on a good pry bar you trust, and you can break it right off. So you're seeing everything in reverse. We'll get it started on the other side, and hopefully that ground is good, and it'll carry the current to the other side for the plasma cutter to smoke those bolts off. I got to charge the camera, so we'll be back in a little bit when we get a little bit more juice. So got a lot of rusted metal here, but we'll give it a shot. Oh man, that was right up my leg. Look at that. That's all it took. Alright, so I got my... These things are heavy. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing that we did back here, where we're going to mount this whole thing to the frame as one unit. We're going to try doing that. I've got it secured up here to the front, in the front shackle, not bolted. This, I'm going to clean up, wire wheel it, but this is good. So this gets torqued to 120 foot-pounds. But not just yet, not until we put weight on the vehicle. Alright, different strategy. I took the lift block, took the block out, still up front, bolted, so it can pivot. Lifted it up, took that block out that just lays underneath the spring. That gave me the clearance that I have here. And now, I'll bolt that together, get it tight but not torqued, and now I can lift this up into position and I can put it right in. There you go. Alright, that's all installed. That was just like I It was much easier doing it on this side once you do two. So I put all that together and lifted it up and bolted it in. And we're up front, we're good there. We're gonna put the new shock in here. That's the next thing. That's gonna drop the axle down. We'll put our lift in and attach it there. And then put our U-bolts in and we're done. Alright, so just took the shock out. That'll let us get a little more room. A little more room here. Oh, that should be good. And we'll put our lift right there. Bumper stop. Give it a little bit of love from the fluid film. Pretty good stuff right there. And we'll jack that up. How about that? How about that? All right, there we go. Same drill as the other side. Again, I'm reusing these U-bolts. I would say to you, get new ones.
That's lined up same spot as last.
Okay, 74. Just a heads up, when you do the driver's side rear shock, you got the evap canister here, and it's a little tight. You're not going to get a impact. You could get a ratchet up there, but to break it free, it's a little tight there. So you're not going to get an impact gun up in there. So just so you know that. All right, got fluid film all over everything. Take the strap off here. There we go. Alright, nice new shocks. Got those all tightened up. This job is not difficult if you've got tools to do it, you know. Just a good set of a drill and a good set of drill bits. You can drill those rivets out. If you got a torch, that's ideally the best thing, because the torch is gonna get those rivets out a whole lot quicker. I used my plasma cutter, so that worked. There's the other side, got some fluid film on that. Yeah, so let's get the wheels on and take it for a ride. Also got to test out my new 6-ton Harbor Freight Daytona jack stands. They did a great job. Nice safety pin in there. Nice and tall. They go up to like 24.5 inches. Alright, first impressions. This thing's sitting a lot taller. I'd say it's probably got an additional 2 inches. I mean, it's firm too. That's gonna... Those springs, those old leaf springs, those were tired. There's no doubt. But, yep. Take this baby for a ride. Let's go. Got 137,865 on the clock. Let's put you up here. Next thing to fix is going to be I think we got a wheel bearing going up front. way firmer back there. Definitely more truck-like. What was that noise? Yeah, we got a wheel bearing or something going up front. So all in all, really not a hard fix. Get rid of these tired old leaf springs. These 4s, put in 5s. Some weight reduction, that's for sure. It's New York State for you. So yeah, pretty good fix. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Hopefully this will help somebody. These are really common cars. They don't usually last this long in New York State. 2005, and almost 20 years old, but yep, it'll still be running a little while longer before it sees the crusher. So thanks a lot for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see everybody in the next video.